Okay. I think we're live and I think the song's playing. I don't know for sure. I can't hear it. Maybe it's because my music. I'm going to have no idea if anybody's on, though. How do I see chat? Oh, there's chat. Yay! It's working. If I do that, I can't see. Ghetto setup is right. Rocking out. Okay. I think it's going to be time to stop the song in a second. Oh, yeah. Woo-wee! How's it going, everybody? All right, so I can share my screen, but I don't want to be on my screen that I'm sharing. How's everybody doing? It feels weird. It feels weird doing this like this, but hey, here we are. So what can I do with this? Maximize me on air. All right, we're just going to put this guy over here. How's everybody doing? Except for I need to see chat. I can't see chat from here. This is fun. This is new. Oh, captions, graphics. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Wow. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just playing around with these things. Oh, look how pretty. Whoa. Oh, whoa, that was weird. Hey, anyways, guys, how's it going? Sorry, just going to play around with this thing for a little bit here. Maybe if I do it like this. Ooh, then you can see my pretty backgrounds. Anyways, all right, enough of that nonsense. How's everybody doing? Here we are up at the Hobbit hole. How's it going? So, yeah, we're here, and you can hear me okay. You can see me okay. Is this in the RV? Yes, this is the RV. The girls are doing RV things. That's the Hobbit hole down there. I actually I wouldn't call it a warning, but I did get just a reminder from the TV folks not to share progress on social media. So I have to be a little careful about my blog posts and stuff until they get all the stuff that they want for the show. That's cool. I can understand that, right? I totally get that. All right. How's it going, everybody? C Sharpworm, I just saw your message on that networking thing, and I like that idea. You're talking about the edge router or something, right? I'm wondering if I don't need, let's see. Oh, I thought I could pop out the chat. Oh, chat overlay. Oh, look at that. Sweet. Now I wonder what happens if I make this whole thing big. Oh, cool. Hey, this is pretty good. I should start doing it like this all the time. Oh, no, I don't want that. Oh, but I could maximize myself like this. Oh, look at that. Wow. We're learning lots of stuff. So what I'm using here, look how little I am. Little bitty head. This is the Restream browser. Like, this is all happening from my browser on my laptop. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Somebody said the show. Can we see the show? You will eventually be able to see the show, Pete, and others. The show is building off the grid. Let me show you what the show. Let me show you the show. If you haven't seen it, most of you guys probably have, but for those of you that haven't, we are building our Hobbit hole, and we are going to be on this show, Building Off the Grid. You can see, if you go to Amazon, you can see a lot of their other episodes of. It's Discovery. You have Discovery. You can see it. It's going to be one of these. This show right here. View schedule. Watch now. So this is showing. This is season 2. We're part of season 6. Some of the seasons are not available on the website here. You have to actually go to Amazon and get them. So we've been buying the seasons at a season at a time. So that because the kids, Janice and I, we like watching them. It's actually kind of fun, and it helps us to know like what they expect from us a little bit, you know. So Building Off the Grid. So there's season 5. This says season 10. I don't understand exactly. It's been, I think, a couple different companies have produced this show, so that's why this season numbers are kind of screwy. But anyways, this is the show. So there'll be a few ways to watch it. There'll be a few ways. All right, now where did I go? I have lost myself. Here we are. Got to manage this. Okay, so what's everybody doing? Do they help you with some planning advice? No, not really. Or they help us with, I mean, they help us financially a little bit, right? There is a I don't know what you want to call it, an incentive or a bonus or something like that. But I can tell you that the amount that they're giving us to be on the show is, let me think about how many percentage of what we're spending overall. About not even 5%, maybe. It's pretty small, you know, but it's fun. Avoid the edge router. Oh, not nearly enough flexibility. pfSense is a much better choice. So tell me this, John and others. We can talk about this. You know, the debate of what's the best, you know, router option here. Oh, this is good. That might be okay. I have 4 Unifi access points, and I'm happy enough with the Unifi user interface. I just don't know if my dream machine is got something wrong with it. Sometimes it just, the fan spins up real loud on it. Seems to like drop things when it probably shouldn't. I don't know if that's the problems of the clients or if that's the problem of the router. But boy, it's sure. Oh, John says, avoid ask me how I know. Vote goes with pfSense, huh? So when you guys are talking about pfSense, so let's look through this. Let's do it. Let's go through the. Wish I could pop out the chat. I can't pop out the chat. I just want the chat to get off to the side. Okay, that's good enough. And then this window can be a little smaller, and I can see the chat and this window. Good. Okay, so let's look at pfSense. When you guys are talking about pfSense, are you talking about getting a router that runs pfSense? Because I thought pfSense was just the software, right? I don't have my IoT VLAN, so off-pist, that might be something I need to do. Easy answer is to go UDM Pro, and the most powerful option, oh no, but more work is pfSense. Has been handing out their equipment for free to YouTubers. Ask to hook you up. Maybe I should. Dr. Lofty, you're right, I should, especially since I've been having troubles with it. Right? That would probably give them, because they don't want me out here saying that I'm having troubles with it, right? If you're Unifi, you don't want that. So maybe we should do that. Masters and Hot Stub. Perfect Sunday. Oh, Alex, I'm jealous. Who's winning? Who's winning the Masters today? I know who was winning last night. pfSense allows better throughput with IDS IPs and DPI. I don't know what those things mean. I know what IPs are. Edge router doesn't allow you to do that. So pfSense. Netgate offers a router with pfSense software. Yeah, so when I looked here, like this is pfSense.org, and there are, yeah, these are these Netgate. These are the routers you're talking about, right? I mean, maybe I should try it. I don't know. Have I slipped to the left? Where did I go? No. Oh, you mean, what do you mean left? You mean, are you talking politically? What are you talking about? Hey, Brendan, how you doing, man? Matsuyama, caddy in close second. Gilmore's caddy. I did not get a good look at his caddy, but does he look like Happy Gilmore's caddy, the homeless guy? I can install pfSense on my Proxmox server. Oh, that might be interesting to do. And at least can I can I look at the pfSense user interface without using it? Like without converting over just to see if I want to try it? What would you suggest here as far as routers for this thing? Small office branch, remote worker, Soho network, remote worker, medium business. These are all obviously business, but what would you guys say? You were there in 07? Oh, you lucky dog. I don't think I'll ever get to go see the Masters. I'm not sure I would. I've never been to a golf tournament live. I don't know what that'd be like to sit there at one hole and watch everybody go by. It's probably a lot of fun. It's probably really cool, but I've never done it. Moved from Netgate to Unifi and have not looked back. Okay, well, so there's Fluffy. Fluffy Programmer says pfSense maybe not, or at least Netgate not that much better. Intrusion detection. Okay, watch traffic for known threats. Report if they're found. Intrusion protect. Oh, so IPs, that's different. Take active measures when unauthorized activity is found. Ah, interesting. You can look at pfSense and maybe. Oh, that's Luma. What's up, dude? Oh, that was you telling me how to do that. Hey, man, how's it going? how's the switch plates flying off the shelves still? Got the initials wrong, but you get it. Which part? Protectly boxes? What's that, Christian? What is that? I'll bet it's a beautiful golf course. I'd like to go, if I was going to go visit a golf course, I want to go visit St. Andrews. That's where I want to go. I want to go to Scotland, visit St. Andrews. You know, here's a lot of fun. So here we are at the Whobbit hole, right? Gotta say it right. We don't want no copyright strikes. So here we are at the Whobbit hole. And, everybody, I would expect that probably all of you have read The Hobbit. And he tells a story about how the game of golf was invented, right? It was the goblin king's name was Golf the blah 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 blah, and the Great Took or somebody knocked his head off, right, and went into a rabbit hole, and so that's how they named it. That's how the game of golf was invented. We're gonna play a game like that up here. I'm gonna get some goblin head looking ball, and we're gonna knock it around and get it into the hole, almost like a frisbee golf kind of a thing. That's my plan. We got enough room. It'd be kind of fun. Invent our own game. Deployed about 24 Dream Machines because my employer likes them, but I'd have preferred to do pfSense. Had the open at Whole Lake, 5 miles from my house, twice in the last 15 years. Oh man, that's awesome. Blueprint updates yesterday due to breaking changes in April. You'll get errors in your log. Oh, okay. It's great use of blueprints, isn't it? Genius use of blueprints. It's like blueprints were made for that kind of thing. Keep in mind that if you install pfSense on your Proxmox, you will need extra network interfaces to actually use it. The one port on the Nook won't do. I would do it just to kind of bounce around the user interface a little bit, I think, but I don't know for sure. Hey, Femi, what are we talking about? So far, nothing. Oh, OSU APOC. Howdy from Columbus. How you doing? I've received 100 messages today, it says in chat. Oh, that's wonderful. Block your children's websites. Javier, DIY Tech Repairs. How's it going, man? Netgate appliances probably depends on your internet speed. For example, SG2100 does 881 megabits per second. So it's 2 gigabytes. Well, right now at home, we're at 200 to 300 megabytes per second or whatever it is. 200 to 300. We're not at gigs. We're not at gigs. Local Tuya, not bad so far. Oh, I saw a video about that. I saw one of the newer video guys. I can't remember his name right now. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. He was talking about that new thing, the local Tuya instead of the regular Tuya. So does that just take away the need? Takes away the need to connect it to your router or to connect to your account, your Tuya account. This one. Is this it? Local handling for Tuya devices. I'm assuming this is it. Love local Tuya. Copy switch.py and the other two integration platform files. py Tuya handler folder. Identify device ID, local key, and entry numbers corresponding current consumption voltages. Use this as your configuration, not YAML. So you guys are doing all this. Is this all part of what you have to do when you set up local Tuya? Or is there something more integrated to it? This will be fine with me. I just think about brand new people. Don't forget to look outside the window. It's beautiful out there. Are you here? Wait, who's looking outside the window? Dave, are you here? Crow just flew by. If Joe Levi sees this, you can come on out tonight, Joe. We're here. We'll be here tonight. Saw that as well. Local Tuya. Has anyone tried it? Looked quite interesting to free a couple of devices that I could not change to Tasmota. What's the best battery, humidity, and temperature sensor? It's going to be Zigbee. It's going to be Zigbee, and whether you get the Xiaomi Zigbee or any one of the Tuya Zigbees, Sonoff Zigbee. Did they have a Sonoff had a Zigbee temperature sensor? I'm sure. But battery temperature and sensor. What about Shelly? If you want Wi-Fi, Shelly has. They had a. Theirs is a battery powered temperature and humidity sensor, right? Yeah, they did. It looks like a golf ball. I remember. So Shelly is. You can't go wrong with Shelly. Everything they do is quality. Oh, there's Zigbee. I don't have my buttons. I can't press any. Can't make any graphics. It's gonna be a little boring today. Need to go to the Tuya website to get your local key for each device. Bit of a pain to set up, but once you do, it's amazing. Well, that's kind of what the other one did, didn't it? I mean, you needed like the regular Tuya. Oh no, I guess that's not true. That's not true. I think you're right. The regular Tuya, you gave it your credentials. It was the Sonoff LAN that works that way, wasn't it? Sonoff LAN works that way, where you've got to go get the key from, like, so you have to register, and then you get some information about the device, and then you use that information. Is that how the Sonoff LAN worked? Requires some manual setup to configure all the sensors. Works quite well. Requires some manual. Oops. Tuya is quite a hassle. Oh, with the device, with the dev account requirement. Just Zigbee direct communication, Tech Junkie says. Tuya for me. Crappy stuff. No Tuya for you, huh, Tech Junkie? No Tuya for me. Oh, I have a thing to tell you guys. I have a confession to make. I actually recorded it in case I decided to make a video about it at some point. But yesterday, I removed 2 of the first 3 Sonoff devices that I put in my house. I took them out. Everybody's gonna be like, "What? Why?" For one, I wanted to see how they were holding up. I wanted to look at because those are the ones I wrapped in electrical tape and just stuffed in there with like speaker wire connectors and all that. And I got a bunch of grief for doing that. So I wanted to see how the electrical tape was holding up, and was the tape melting? Was it stopped being sticky? Were we at any risk of like a short or anything? Because they've been in there now 3.5 years. And so I thought, let's go check them. But that really didn't. I've been wanting to do that, but that didn't really instigate it. What really got me to look at it was I was doing the upgrades. I was upgrading all my devices, all my Tasmota devices, to the latest one, so that I can bring them all into my Home Assistant Blue with the new Tasmota integration. And as I was doing that, those devices were so old that somewhere in the firmware upgrade steps, I lost one, and so it basically bricked them. I mean, it bricked them in that I would have to take them out and manually reflash them. So, and the other thing was I wasn't using them. You know, they were on some lights, the front and back porch lights, and we just weren't using them. So I'm going to go through the house and think about, do I use this particular smart thing just because I have it, because I checked it out and played with it? Am I using it? And if I'm not using it, then I'm going to take it out. Trying to reduce the number of problems and things that we have. The torture test. What's the torture test? Got my Sonoff Zigbee bridge last week, Tasmatized. It's working really well. Good. That's one of the things that I'm going to have to do is take down all of my different temperature sensors, because I got a bunch of Xiaomi and I've got some Sonoff and some Tuya, and I've probably got 10 of them around the house. And I really like that. Like, I think that is taking a Zigbee temperature sensor and putting it in like every room in the house pretty much, and then getting a nice average in different places of the house, as well as being able to focus on one room if you have that ability in your house. Like, we can really turn the heat on or off in certain rooms almost. That's really useful. That is really useful. So I have to repair all those Zigbee devices, those Zigbee sensors with my Home Assistant Blue, because they're all paired with my decons and my Sonoff little dongle. So I have to repair them with my Home Assistant Blue. Do I have any ABBO on cell batteries? I don't know what ABBO is. Don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. Dave, you want to get into Home Assistant next? Home Assistant's fun, dude. You'll enjoy it. Home Assistant is a lot of fun. Just want to say what's up. Hey, Dave, I recently built Ambilight system for my TV. From there, getting into all the smart home stuff, lighting. Thank you for all your appreciation. You're welcome, dude. Thanks for being here, Dave. I got to tell you, I have a video I'm that much closer. I think I talked about it last week, but I've made a new discovery here too. But I'm going to do the luciferin video next for putting lights, but those will only be on the back of your computer monitor. They won't be able to go on the back of a TV that you're running Xbox or Roku or something through. But you actually also only need an 8266, like a D1 mini, and your LEDs and a USB cable, and that's it. That's all you need. And it works pretty well. So that's pretty dang cool. But I will get that done before too long. How's the Starlink? I didn't bring the Starlink up yet. The Starlink, I have to wait until we finish building our pavilion, which will be a few more weeks. It'll be a few more weeks. So probably we'll bring up the Starlink. Well, once we have power up here, once we have this shed thing built with the solar panels, and we've got a steady source of electricity and a building to put it on, then I'll bring the Starlink up and we'll install the Starlink. Pretty sweet. But it's sitting there in my house, this big, huge box with the Starlink thing in it. Equidor say hi. Home Assistant was on Linus Tech Tips a few days ago. Oh, bound to give them a nice boost, I hope. Oh, that's awesome. That is great. Got Hyperion running for the first time today. Nice, Ronald. I love Hyperion. I mean, luciferin is really good too, and it's simpler. It's simpler, and it's definitely cheaper as far as hardware goes. What you want to do is whether you're going to do luciferin or whether you can do Hyperion for those kinds of lights depends on what you want to use them for. If you're going to put it on your computer, put the lights on the back of a computer monitor and connect it to a computer, luciferin. It's just easier. You're going to be happy with it. You can do that with Hyperion as well, but what Hyperion does that luciferin doesn't is take in an external HDMI and output output to the lights from HDMI. So you can do it. You can do Hyperion if you have Xbox, those kinds of things that you want to use it with. Luciferin PC only. It says PC and Linux. I tried it on a Raspberry Pi last night. Actually, it didn't work. I don't think their Linux version is not able to run on a Raspberry Pi. It doesn't look like. I need to talk to David and just let him know or ask him about that. Do I know of any open source camera-based Ambilights like Gobi's kit? You can, Ofer, you can use a camera as the input on Hyperion. You can do it. I was about to do a video about that, but the guy who told me about it had been using it and compared with the screen capture software or something like that inside, or the external HDMI thing, it wasn't as good, is what he said. He said that and I'm not surprised, that camera thing is going to be a bit, off, probably, right? It's not going to be as pure where the colors are exactly and stuff is probably not going to be as accurate. But yes, you can use that with Hyperion. So in fact, somebody had I want to say there was like a blog about it. Somebody had a tech blog that said how to do it. But if you poke around in the Hyperion, I have a Hyperion channel in Discord, but I think Hyperion has their own, if I remember, I thought they had their own Discord server as well. But anyways, if you go into my on my server, Discord server, there's a Hyperion channel. If you go in there and ask about using a camera as the input, they should be able to point you in the right direction. Best wire gauge for battery powered circuits. What are you running, Yusuf? It's all going to be about your current, brother. Best wire is all about your current. But I mean, it depends what you're running with your battery and stuff. So the camera will never be as good as reflecting, etc. Throws it off. Yeah, there you go. True dat, Dave. True dat. But wouldn't you use USB capture, but the camera as input? You would use the camera as input. I don't know about USB capture. Yes, you would still. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes. But would you have to? I don't know that you would have to. I don't know that you would have to use it because the USB capture is taking HDMI and putting it in. I think with Hyperion, you could put like a webcam directly into the USB port on the Pi. I don't think you need HDMI to USB conversion. You could, if you had a camera that was HDMI, you could do that, I guess. But I think it'll take a camera as a direct input, a USB camera directly as an input. I think. 0.5 amp circuit. Oh man, you can use 22 gauge wire. Use something simple, 20 gauge, whatever's close. 0.5 amps. Nada. Nothing. Oh, Bart knows you, Quindor, from the game party days. Quindor, you didn't try to call me the other day, did you? You know how everybody gets all these spam calls? I don't know if you guys get them internationally, but we sure get a bajillion spam calls around here. And I got one. It kind of like knows where you're, like it knows where you live, so it'll make it look like the calls are coming from somewhere around you. I got a call from the Netherlands. I got a call that said it was coming from the Netherlands. I didn't answer it. But it said it was coming from the Netherlands. I was in the middle of like surgery at work, so I didn't answer it, but that was interesting. Installed Hyperion with wLED on the Digi Uno. That's crazy. Yeah. Gobi have, yeah. So you're looking for something like that? You're looking for something like that, but open source, right? Go with, try and go with Hyperion. If anything's going to do it, it's going to be Hyperion with the camera input. And I'm pretty sure that you can do it that way. Oh, maybe it was Frank. Maybe it was Frank. I probably should have answered it. No, I've got Frank's number. I don't think it was Frank. I thought I marked Frank's number because remember, if you guys were around a long time ago, I accidentally posted my phone number a couple times on the streams back when I used to give away all my secrets on the streams before Blade and Sir Goodenough roped me in. I used to leak my passwords all the time, and I know Frank and a couple of the guys were texting me. Question: my LED lights on the TV have like a small lag compared to the screen. Is the cause a Pi 0? Would be Pi 3 be reduced, or would you think it causes the HP capture card? So Dave, excuse me. I used to think that it would be the 0, the Pi 0 instead of the Pi 3. But somebody did tell me that there is a setting in Hyperion that you can change like the latency or something like that. And I don't have a running instance of Hyperion here that I can open up and we can poke around at the settings, but somebody said that there is a setting in Hyperion that may be causing that delay. Because some people have had a delay that wasn't a hardware problem. It was a setting in Hyperion. And I want to say it was a latency. It was something that's in the settings that is something milliseconds. So poke around in there, or again, go to the Hyperion Discord chat channel and just ask the general question. And then if somebody in there answers, come back and tell us, right? Change the resolution of the capture. That's another one. Bart's got that's another good one. Change the resolution of the capture. Yep, that helps. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. And it was just sticking in my head as latency. Alex, how about that NCAA tournament? Oh, it was sad. We lost. We didn't win. But we were also missing a few important players. It's okay. I'm really happy about the future of Michigan basketball. It's good. Things are good. Things are good. Reduce the resolution and put detethering to 1. Okay, so there's another one. Using an ARD Nano 2. Oh, not GPIO Open, which you feel is better for my data wire. Sorry, I have so many questions. Dave, it's no problem that you have questions. I don't have anything to talk about today other than whatever people ask. I never seem to run out of things to talk about. It doesn't really stop me from talking. but no, I'm happy to answer as many questions as I can. And as you can see, man, this is the kind of community we have, right? You ask a question, and before I even read the question, 5 people have answered. So it's awesome. It's a good time hanging out with the homies here. Little bit of a lag using a Pi 3, but the Zero should work fine. I've heard good things about the Zero. I've tried the Zero. Made it farther than the Buckeyes or Sparty. That's true, Alex. That's true. True that. What is this? Ofer says you can raise the decimation, change the resolution of the capture. There was something else we were talking about. And I don't have a squirrel button either. Squirrel. Oh, hey, Blade's here. How's it going? I talk about passwords. I didn't notice you yet. No, I didn't. I hadn't noticed because so I'm watching it differently, right? I'm on Restream and I'm looking at the browser, and I'm actually only looking at the chat so that I can have the rest of the window out of the way, so I'm not distracted by my own self. So I'm looking at the chat, and it shows Twitch and it shows YouTube, but the Twitch viewers, it only shows a generic Twitch icon. It doesn't show your, like in Twitch, usually you guys have I usually see a logo with, your picture or whatever you've put in for Twitch. So I'm used to seeing some of those. And this one doesn't do that, but it does for the YouTube folks. Oh, that was you, Wayne. It was the resolution. Drop it down and then try pushing the frame rate up to 60. Nice. There you go, Wayne. Thanks, sir. Factor of size. 1 means no decimation. Keep the original size. Oh, okay. That's another way to do it. Good. See, there's a ton of settings in Hyperion. You can do pretty much anything with it. So that's awesome. With Luciferin, Luciferin's not going to capture external video, right? But there are a few settings, but it's simpler for sure. Custom TV, home assistant turned it off. Oh no. Firmware version are you running on your UDM? I just updated it to 1.9.3. I was on 1.9.0, I think. So it was crashing a lot in like last week, and then I was on some of you guys saw me in the couple of channels chatting about it and asking questions. I was on the Unifi Discord as well, asking questions and trying to sort out where the problem was. And somebody did lead me to that, to upgrade the firmware, so I did that. And then I went ahead. I know it's auto update means auto break, but I didn't want to have another problem like that where there was a firmware upgrade that I didn't make, and the new firmware was stable, the old one wasn't. So I went ahead and turned on auto update. We'll see. We'll see if that auto updates or if it auto breaks or what. Yeah, I did. Thank you, Blade. I did go in there and talk to them. I still got some things to work out, but I think part of it, oopsies. I think part of it is my network still. So I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting there. It's hard to, how many hours in the day. Is this free for all Q&A today? Yeah, free for all Q&A. Woo! Like to suggest for Ethernet version of wLED controller that would run LED. Sid, do you have a page about that, Quindor? I don't think you have a page yet, but funny you should ask, Sid. Funny you should ask. So let's just poke around here through quinled.info, and Quindor is here with us today. And he is, I don't know if he's going to have it on here yet, probably not yet, right? But basically has done exactly what you're talking about. Quindor has designed an ESP32, which can receive network communication through an Ethernet connection, assign the right pins to the right data channels, and tell the ESP32 what to do, and you can have an Ethernet connected ESP32. And then because wLED is written to run on an ESP8266 or 32, you can run the 32 version of wLED and have it connected to Ethernet. How about that for flipping awesome, right? And those are on their way. Here we go. There's a link for you. There's a link for you. I knew he'd have one in there. Let's go look at it. I'm excited. Right. Yes, there it is. The Ethernet boards. Dun, 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 dun. There's exactly. And then this little guy down here, this bottom board, is the ESP32, the special magic one that Quindor has made, and it will plug into a Dig Uno or a Dig Quad. Lickety split. Hey Dale, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. End of April. It's not available for sale yet. Oh, well, if you can wait a few more weeks, that's going to be your best bet. I think we talked about trying to do it with the other ESP32 Ethernet connected development boards. I don't see why you couldn't. You just need to know which, you just have to connect to one of those pins. I have some of those boards, but I'm using them for other things. So, and I haven't bought any more because this is coming. But like, if I was going to do it, and if Quindor hadn't done what he's doing, like if I didn't know that this Quinn LED board is imminent, then I would go with the Olimex ESP32 Ethernet board, and I would put wLED on that, and then connect the lights to that and see what happens. Should work. You would need, though, a special version of wLED as well, right? So I think, but I know Quindor's worked on that, or somebody I saw somewhere. I think I saw beta, or maybe it's in the wLED repository now. I can't remember. But I think there would be a specific wLED version as well. It's not going to be able to be just the typical version that runs Wi-Fi. It's got to have some other stuff in the code to say run off Ethernet, right? Get busy, so I got money burning a hole in my pocket. Man, he has been. Quindor, how much have you slept in the last 2 months, man? Like hardly at all. He has been cranking out these designs and testing. Got to say, and give Quindor all the credit in the world. He is not going to put together something and put it out if it's not going to work well. He has done a great job of making sure that the design is solid, testing it. If it's not right, tweak it, test it again, So when it comes out, it'll be great. It'll be great. It'll revolutionize things for this year's holiday lights. So yes, you can, Doug. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I will have them. Quindor will have them on the international store. They'll be just basically what you're looking at right there. So it'll be the Quinn LED ESP32 board, and then the Ethernet hat on top, for sure. It's not been much. Yeah, it hasn't been much. I know it hasn't been much because sometimes I text him when it's bedtime for me, and he answers. So it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. So, did I see your Cobot video? No. What Cobot video? I want to see this. Share, Blade. Share. Share. Hey, Ovi, how you doing? Do I have Wi-Fi problems with wLED? It's hard to say for sure. I certainly have had some times where the controllers become unreachable, right? They disconnect, and I know that there was a problem, or there was an opportunity for a problem where the boards would go to sleep, the Wi-Fi part would go to sleep, and so then they wouldn't connect unless you interacted with them, which you can't do unless it's connected to Wi-Fi. So I know that was a thing for a while. But then there's that box you can check that tells it not to go to sleep. But I feel like I still do have some problems sometimes. I'm chalking it up to just the 2.4 gigahertz, the low. These Wi-Fi, these little ESP boards, they're good. They do their thing, but it's always been the problem. Sonoff devices, Tuya devices, just anybody who uses those chips, sometimes they fall off the network. And if you want maximum stability, you just got to get away from Wi-Fi completely. Oh yes, that Yes, that. I did see that. I did see that blade. Here's for everybody who wants to see Blade's little video here. Let's open it up. I don't know if I can. Oh, I think did I just stop the stream? No, I didn't, thank goodness. But you also can't see it, can you? There it is. Dude, that thing is so cool. And of course, after you posted this blade, after you showed that, I said, "Oh, I got to have one of those, right? If maybe Banggood will have one, they can send me." And sure enough, Sir Goodenough sends me like links to like 3 different robot arms like that Banggood sells. So I'll have to get my new Banggood buddy, Banggood not Woody. External USB drive for storage, MotionEye, how to. Oh boy. So MotionEye runs on a Raspberry Pi, right? So you're running it on a Pi 3 or Pi 0 probably. External USB drive for storage on MotionEye. That's a good question. I haven't played with MotionEye in a really long time. I assume because you're asking that you already looked through all the settings in the MotionEye. Well, there's different things. There's MotionEye OS, and then there's MotionEye the NVR, right? You can do the MotionEye add-on for Home Assistant, or you can run MotionEye, I think, as a DVR, an NVR. So it brings in all of your camera feeds and gives you the ability to do stuff with them. But MotionEye OS is, a disk image basically that you burn onto a Pi, and then you connect the camera, and that it sets it up as a network camera, a server for the network camera. I would assume that in that MotionEye OS somewhere you can specify where to save files to, but I wish I could tell you more specifically. I haven't played with it enough to know. But that's how I would look for it. I think in that MotionEye OS that's on the actual Pi that you're using, that's connected to the camera, look in the settings there somewhere. It's got to be a way. It's got to be. Got to be. $65 and it's mine? What, that robot? Oh, yours have been flawless, just hate Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, really, with Wi-Fi 6? Oh, 65,000, not $65. He's like, how many times can I write? Write it in Roman numerals, Blade. I only understand Roman numerals. I still don't know what you mean. 65,000 pennies? I don't understand. What is that? I need Roman numerals, or, can't understand. I bought some WS2011s from AliExpress. How can the wires in those strips take the amps that these wires are pretty thin? Yeah, Ovi, what you're experiencing there, my friend, is Chinese American wire gauge. I think AWG. Doesn't AWG stand for American wire gauge? I thought it did, but yes, there are certainly different standards, and I have experienced exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if they always, you can't always trust the advertising on AliExpress. There certainly is no verification process there. They might tell you that it's one thing and it isn't that thing. And I didn't really, when I noticed the difference, specifically in the wires from some of those cheaper brands, was when I got RGB mics pixels at my house. The ones that he has made, he's got a guy in China that makes them, I don't know where, from what factory, whatever. But his have true 18 gauge wire. They cost more, and that's part of why, right? I mean, you're buying quite a bit more copper. But if you really think you're going to be pushing a lot of current through there, I've gotten away with it. I have not. I've used those cheap AliExpress pixels plenty. Most of my house is covered with those pixels, the cheap AliExpress ones or Amazon ones, which are the same companies. And the wires are pretty small, for sure. They're not 18 gauge. That's for dang sure. They might not even be 20. But we typically, when you're power injecting, and then you're running effects where some lights are off and some are dim and they're not pure white very often, your current load is really pretty low. It's lower than it is if you sort of take the general rule of thumb, right? I say that all the time. Oh, LXV, that's 65,000. Thank you, Josh. you need to add an external drive to your Pi. When you do that, Alessander, when you add the external drive to the Pi, I guess in the MotionEye OS, do you need to somehow tell MotionEye OS that it's there? You know, and it has like the USB/TTY, whatever, you know, and it knows that location, where that drive is. Maybe MotionEye needs to know that somehow, or if not, then I would think it would show up in MotionEye when you are selecting where you want things to save. But again, if you're asking this, I wouldn't be surprised if you'd already looked and you couldn't find it. That's why you're asking. So I get that might be a dumb answer. I'm sorry, but that's the best I can come up with, having not played with it more myself. But maybe somebody else has that can answer. What has been the best ESP32 Ethernet board you have found for simple? Definitely the Olimex. Definitely the Olimex PoE. No, let's just do their Olimex PoE. Oh, this guy. This guy right here. So this is the one that I used for my dragon adventure game for the kids. So I've got this thing connected to, it's running an ESP Home Sketch, and it's connected to a motion sensor, some RGB LEDs. What else did I put on there? Motion sensor, RGB LEDs. There's the one thing too, but there was something else. There was a couple of things I can't remember now what all it entails, honestly. It's kind of funny. Temperature and humidity sensor. You can do temperature and humidity sensor. You can do anything that you can do with ESP Home, right? It ends up limiting the number of pins more than I thought it would, but I still think you're left with like 11 pins or something that you can use for things. And I didn't find anything that it couldn't do. And you can power through PoE. Just make sure you understand that if you're like I connected a few LEDs to this. So if you do that, just know how much current you're going to be asking those LED. Oh, a relay. That's what else I put on there. A relay and a button. Anyways, just know how much power you're putting through there so that you know when you're putting too much, right? I would say more than just a few LEDs is probably too much. So a few LEDs would be fine. In fact, you could, let's be honest, you could probably put 50 LEDs, but it wouldn't be a problem. But just know your watts of your PoE and what the board is able to take if you're gonna PoE it. But you can, like what I did was a separate power supply. I didn't use PoE. I used a separate power supply and then just Ethernet connection through this board. It worked great. Did you guys get to see that? Good. To check back and forth here, make sure that I'm actually. Oh look, Mom, I'm on TV. Hey, Stefan, how you doing? Greetings from Finland. Hey, Timmy. I plugged in the USB SSD hard drive. I can't see it on MotionEye, probably because it did not mount. And yes, mounted on Home Assistant. Oh gosh, no. So wait. So what you've got? I see, Alessander. So you have. I see what you're doing. Back up. Let's back up a minute. So what you have is MotionEye, the add-on, the Home Assistant add-on, running on a Raspberry Pi, and you want Dawson wants more YouTube time. Better be watching me. And you want to sorry. And you want to be able to back up stuff from that NVR, the MotionEye NVR, out onto a hard drive. I don't know. I don't know if Home Assistant. I know that in newer versions you can boot, like if you're using a Pi 4, you can boot Home Assistant from the USB drive instead of from the SD card on the Pi. But I don't know how you go about telling Home Assistant that you have a USB drive and that you want MotionEye to save those pictures there. I can't tell you that I know that. I don't. Yes, Joshua says, do I still recommend the TS100 for portable solder iron? Yes, I do. We did look at one the other day that I thought looked really cool that I would try. What was it called, guys? Was it the not the banana pie, but it's a what's that one? It's a come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't know. Pencil something. It's a different. Oh shoot! It's based on a different chip. Gosh, what was it, guys? Do you remember? Oh, TD Scoot. That is you. How's it going? How's it going, Dawson? TD Scoot is Dawson. Hi, buddy. How you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Dawson and the big kids are at home. Me and Janice and the little kids are up here at Aidendale. Pi 4 supports USB boot out of the box. Awesome. Pine, there you go. Thank you very much, Reese. How you doing, buddy? Thank you very much. It's the Pine pencil or whatever. Pine 64. Pine Sol. Yeah, Pine Sol soldering iron. So I would try this, especially if you are, if you're reasonably handy and you don't mind kind of tinkering with stuff, because you're going to pay a whole lot less for this than you would for the TS100. But it's the same tip. It's just what runs it is different. How it, the part inside here. So I would totally go with this. I mean, the TS100 has been good, but I'm sure this is just as good and costs less. So I would go with this. Give it a go. Pine 64 iron. Yes, there you go. There you go. You're welcome, Alessander. Let's see. Hey, Holly Marie, can I have my Dr. Pepper? Oh, that's a cute puppy. Yes, thank you, baby. Thank you. All right. Oh, Martin, how you doing? Anyone know if you can run Z-Wave JS off box on a dedicated Raspberry Pi 4? Ooh, good question. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to do that, Martin? Curiosity. Is your volume bad or my speakers need checking? Well, my volume might be low. Is the volume low? I could turn up the mic, I think. Does that help? I know my microphone's right here, so you could probably hear Gracie chewing gum over here. Hear my chair squeaking too. Currently have a 4AA battery soldering iron. I get like an hour and then it's dead. Yeah, you don't want to do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, the TS100 and this other one here, they connect to like a LiPo battery, like you would use for a drone or a RC car, and you can charge them with those. Volume is fine. Volume is fine. Okay. Well, I turned it up anyway, so hopefully it's not too bad. You can run Z-Wave on anything. Okay, cool. Some comments on my previous message. Not sure if you missed it. I must have missed it. Let's see, Stefan. Let me back up. Oh, support USB boot. Okay, Pi 4 supports USB boot out of the box. Just ordered 20 Shelly relays. Seemed like the best option at the time. Any suggestions for doorbell? I kind of want to do Shelly 1 and use it as a doorbell. I need a doorbell solution as well. It's something that hasn't been. All right, Sir Goodenough's here. Yes, we can start now. How's it going, man? Thanks for being here. So we were talking about. What? I squirreled already. Stefan asked about. Oh, shut the doorbell. Yeah, doorbell. Okay, let's hear doorbells, guys. Let's hear doorbells. So you want camera doorbell, or do you just want button activated something? My home system box is tucked away in a place in my house that wouldn't be good for Z-Wave signal. Running Z-Wave on a dedicated box in a central place would be best if I can run separate from home. Good question. I wish I could tell you, but let's see what these guys say more. I wonder, so Z-Wave then doesn't work with repeaters like Zigbee does? I didn't know that. I thought Z-Wave did that as well. Because if it did, like Zigbee, you could just put a whatever you want to call it, a repeater or something like that next to the or in the central location or whatever. Well, that's cool. Stone Obscurity just sent me this 3D printed. That's an awesome holder, dude. I love that. Here, I'll show you guys. It's a 3D printed holder for his, is that for the TS100? It is, right? Yeah, it's a TS100. That's awesome, dude. That's great. I like that thing. It's pretty. Mucho pretty. I didn't realize I still had all those flowers on the screen. Let's play with that for a minute. Hold on.
Flowers?
Yeah. There's more. That's kind of fun. Let's see, what's this? Video clips? No, backgrounds. Which one do you guys like? I guess I could add anything. Oh, upgrade. Customize background. I have to upgrade? No. No, hombre. Not doing that. Logo. Will it let me add a logo? Nope. I have to upgrade to add a logo too. Turds. Turds. I could add an RTSP or RTMP, like if I had a camera close by. That's good to know. This is kind of a fun learning day today to be streaming directly from the browser with the Restream. It's kind of cool. Now we know what's possible. Oh, gosh, how did that background get in there? No, that is the most horrible background ever. Get that out of here. Gotta find something that's decent. Kind of feeling polka dots today a little. I don't know.
Okay.
Kind of orange, kind of purpley.
Move that one.
No, that's actually the twins texting you to say hi.
Mm.
Oh no, where did my chat go? There it is. All right, there we go. Okay, let's see. Jovan had operational for abdominal hernia. For a moment, I thought of me. If it happened to you that you talk with someone about HASS in the operating room while making the patient fall asleep, yes, I do. I don't do it while the patient's awake. No, I don't. I wouldn't do that. I know that when, especially as somebody's going off to sleep before surgery, I mean, it's very justifiable to be quite nervous, right? And I think if as you're falling off to sleep and you're worried that, oh my gosh, these people are going to have my life in their hands, and then they start small talking about some hobby project or something, that's going to be a bit unnerving. So I definitely let people get to sleep. But I do have surgeons and people that I work with that I talk to about this kind of stuff a lot. They're interested too, and some have watched videos, and a lot of people are interested in the holiday lights. So we talk about lights a lot. And we've talked about the Whobbit hole quite a bit.
Whobbit hole.
Yeah. These guys use the Zigbee repeater. Is there a Z-Wave repeater, though? Use the dark background. I don't remember what I left it on. Did I leave it on a dark one? That's kind of a dark one, right? I like playing with this thing. I do like playing. Oh yeah, it's back. Oh my, it's too funny. Okay, well, now I know what to press when I need to go to the bathroom. That was awesome. Oh man. And it mutes my microphone. I couldn't even tell you. It gave me a message that said your microphone is muted while you're, you know, in this screen or whatever, while the video is playing. That was awesome. That was really funny. And then, and like, if I figured it out now, that if I would have just waited, each of those videos is like a minute long. And if I would have just waited for one of them to end, the first one, if I wouldn't have clicked anything else, it would have just stopped. But instead, I tried to click another one. And so then that one started. And then I finally found the one that only was 30 seconds long. I clicked that one. And that was the last one that had the countdown on it. Jeez, that was funny. Oh, fails at work are way bigger. Yeah. Fails at work are way bigger. They're less often, though. They're less common. What if I do this? I got to stop playing with things. You guys got to let me stop letting me play with things. Right? Stop playing with things. Just let it be. Hey, from Istanbul, Ahmet. I watched a really cool show about Istanbul when it was Constantinople. That was a really cool history. Yeah, I don't have a fail button either right now. Prefer Zigbee, only the pair process is annoying. Agreed with that. Agreed with that. I just don't know about we were specifically wondering because Martin was asking about his Z-Wave, and I didn't know about a Z-Wave repeater. Does a Z-Wave light bulb or a Z-Wave receptacle or light switch, does that work like a repeater like a Zigbee one does? What is PEBCAC? What is that, Richard? Z-Wave is a mesh. Okay, good. So it should do it. From France, I grew up in Twin Falls. Now live in Paris. That's crazy, Daniel. Grew up in Twin Falls. Now you live in Paris. That's crazy. Twin Falls is a few hours that way. We're not too far. Not battery ones like the Zigbee. Okay. Yes, it's mesh. Speaking of France, last night we went and saw Les Mis. That was really cool. Seen it a few times. Do you hear the people sing the song of angry men? Martin, did you throw up the white flag? What is that? Have I been in Norway? No, I haven't. Someday, though. Problems exist between the keyboard and the chair. Yes, that is the truth. Hey, Thomas, how you doing, man? How's it going? Got any awesome new Lovelace stuff going on lately? I haven't done much. I've been, I tinker here and there still with Home Assistant. I try and keep up on things, but occupied with all this building stuff so far. Do you think he's mature enough, Home Assistant? Do I think Home Assistant is mature enough to use? Absolutely.
No.
Stinker. Yeah, absolutely is.
No.
Gracie, silly girl. I won't say that you won't cause yourself problems. More of those PBAC problems. So what else is going on, pals and gals? Okay, don't listen to your kids. Kids were saying, turn it off. Just turn it off. I can't turn it off. I don't know how. Let's see if Home Assistant's working today. Yeah, it's working. That's nice. Air conditioning's on, but it shouldn't be. And I don't really think it is. That's the trick. Yeah, it doesn't need to be on. You can turn on the other one, but we need to fix our location, don't we? We need to set our location. Video, okay, let's see. Your link is not visible in Twitch chat. Oh no! I'm on a streak updating and modernizing stuff, aka breaking people's configs. Don't auto-update. It's worth it for the new cool functionality. Well, thank you so much for what you do, Thomas. You've done some amazing stuff, dude. You've done some amazing stuff. Your contribution is massive. Yeah, Home Assistant's been out. Has it been 8 years now? Wow. It's been out for a long time. I guess I've been using it for 4. Crazy. I get to be a guest on the Home Assistant podcast. Nice, Josh. That's fantastic. Were you on the did you do something for the conference, Josh? Was that you? Or was that somebody else? DJ Roscoe, projects have inspired so much. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that, DJ. I'm happy to hear that. I have were we talking about this the other day? No, I don't think it was. So let's go to AliExpress for Kixies, right? I have a master plan in mind. Okay. There's a part of me that wants to come here to AliExpress and buy a bunch of weird stuff like this. I go right to vehicles. I want to go here. Can you guys see this? This popping up for you? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. I want to go here and I want to buy a bunch of weird things. Like, look at this. Customize electric control system for a 3- and 4-wheel vehicle or whatever. Like, look. That's a car. Right? And look how simple. And then you can build something around it. I want to know if it's worth anything or is it total junk? It's super cheap. Like, look at this thing. It's a tractor. It's like an electric tractor. So I want to like buy stuff like this and see how bad it is and make videos about it. I think that's a great job. What do you think? I'm going to buy a Chinese tractor like that and then drive it around my Aidendale here and do reviews. What do you think? Import taxes? Yeah, that's probably true. Look at this one, man. This is a bus. He's got batteries here. He's got all the steering stuff here. And oh, look at that. Shipping is only $40,000. That's it. So, obviously got to choose these things wisely. So we'll see. Look at the shipping cost. That's funny. Could use that for mushing with the dog. Put it under the bus. I got a question. Just had a power cut for only a second, but my Home Assistant on my Raspberry Pi 3 taking forever to load back up. Should I be worried? I back up snapshots. You know what, Roscoe? Anytime you have a sudden power outage on a Raspberry Pi that is running its operating system on the SD card, you should be worried. Yeah. I've had it be as simple as just, unplugging the USB thing accidentally. That's it. It doesn't finish writing whatever it was writing, and so you end up with some junky data on the disk, and it can't start up anymore. Yeah, it certainly could be it certainly could be. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing backups. I would say try it again. Try unplugging and plugging it back in again, which you probably already have. But anyways, he doesn't do the cheap stuff. Wait, what? Hold on, I got to see what this is about. I bet shipping won't be cheap. Yeah. I don't go to the cheap stuff. Me or somebody else? Oh, I don't go to the cheap stuff, man. Yeah, I don't want to try out like a remote control car, I want to try out something crazy. like let's get a car, Oh. So did you guys you probably didn't see, did you? I can show you though. I think I can show you on here. Let's go. Hopefully it backed up. I can go to my Google Pictures, Google Photos for a minute. Let's see, is that what it's showing you? I can't tell. Oh, it's showing you AliExpress. Okay, that's all right, because I'll come in here and I will show you my... Oh, nope, it hasn't updated. Has not updated in a bit. Where's my phone? Yeah, dang it. Well, you'll see pictures anyways before too long, but we did buy Zach a bus, a VW bus. Did we talk about it last week on the stream, I think? I think we did, right? And we brought it home a couple days ago. Old laptop is an amazing option. Yep. I don't. Oh, you know what? I do have Discord. I do have Discord. I can look in Discord for the questions. Yeah. For the tilde questions, live stream questions. All right, let's do it today. I'm going to answer some of these. This is from C# Worm. Have you flashed multiple apps to an ESP32? It seems possible from what I've read. Oh, I'd like to run wLED in parallel with custom firmware so I can run everything at my pool off one ESP32. Ooh, I have not tried that. I have not tried that, C# Worm. That is an interesting concept. You want to run wLED and like ESP Home Sketch or something, right? So you can get sensors and relays and stuff. Oh, good question. What do you guys know? Quindor, anybody else? What do you guys know about the power of the ESP32 to run multiple firmwares or something like that? Interesting. Is there a simple way, this is from Thiesk, is there a simple way to temporarily put a light in a state and then return it to a previous state? Yes. You're talking about in Home Assistant? So the first thing that comes to mind is set an automation. And then in the automation, you set it to turn as the action. You set that light to turn on or turn off or whatever. Then you can either do a wait until, which is a new thing in Home Assistant automations, where it'll wait until, and then you can put another trigger. So you can set that as whatever else, any other different trigger. Or you can just do a delay for a period of time if you know always what that period of time is going to be. And then at the end of that delay, it will do the next action, which would be put the light back in the other state that it was in. So does that help? And then of course Node-RED can do basically those same things, just in different terms. But yeah, you can do that. But that's how I would do it. That's the first thing that comes to mind is in your automation, there's action and then delay, 3 hours or whatever it's going to be, and then the action to put it back to whatever state it was in. Just got 3 ESP32s on Amazon, $18. That's a pretty good price. Yeah. Can make a nice UPS for a Raspberry Pi. Ooh, what you got there? Anyway, any USB power pack with direct power that doesn't discharge the battery while the input powers are connected. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so like, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know about that. Basically something, if you have a good BMS, so if you have a battery pack that has a good BMS that won't charge it when it doesn't need to charge it, they'll just kind of let it run low and then let it charge again and let it run low, then, you would do that. But I don't know specifically of a battery pack that would do that. Ooh, what you got? Oh, I've seen that one, Dale. I want it. Yeah, I saw that one a long time ago. So that was really cool. Dale shared with me this YouTube video about a Raspberry Pi motion tracking airsoft Nerf turret. We're back here on AliExpress. So I was going to say, what I started to say about this stuff here is that I would make a whole, I wouldn't say a channel, but at least a series on just these kinds of weird AliExpress things you can get. I mean, there are a lot of these kinds of things. Oh, there's one. Look at that high-tech. Look at that thing. Hold on. Look at this. See that? Where'd it go? This one. Oh, these are remote control. Darn it. I want the man-size ones. I saw one the other day. It was like a fold-up it was a fold-up go-kart for like $600. And I just want to get them and see if they're good. If they're good, then great. If they suck, then I can say, hey, these suck. But it'd be worth playing with. Maybe for a while, and then I go, geez, I've sure spent a lot of money on stuff that didn't work. I am still looking to build one, Dale. Yeah, that's right. You've been around a long time, if you remember that. But yes, I am still looking. I know you've been around a long time. I didn't realize it's been that long. Yeah, I am still going to do that. I have, I started it down the road, and I know I could do it now with an ESP32 and stuff. I was looking at some of these, like some of these scooters too, for the kids to like sled, like that. There's all kinds of crazy stuff here that you wouldn't think. I don't know. It's hard to get. You have to be careful though, because they put some pretty spicy ads on some of this stuff. It's a little bit crazy. And then all of a sudden we're hiding our guns. Anyways, there's a lot of vehicles here. There are others. I would do a lot of just vehicles right off the bat. These are like Legos and stuff. This isn't really showing what I want. Anyways. Here, even like some of these drift cart, you know, lots of parts. Anyways, what am I doing? Let's answer your question instead. Ask, does Luciferin support multiple monitors? Yes, it does, Pablo. Yes, yes, yes. In fact, that is why I started using it. Hyperion can do multiple monitors, but when I went to try and set it up, for one, it needs to be, I thought, maybe I was wrong about this, but I thought it needed to be separate pies. That could be wrong, but either way, when I went to start researching it, I was like, gosh, this seems kind of hard. And so then I asked David, who's the guy that developed Luciferin, and he said, oh yeah, no problem. You know, blah. And he's right, and it works really well. It works really well. And it's really cool because it will even give you the icons for the Luciferin, the software that runs on the PC. It will give you like the symbol so that you know which one's the right hand and which one's the left hand monitors. So, but yes, absolutely, Luciferin will do multiple monitors. It'll do two at least. It'll do two at least. I don't know if it'll do three, but it'll do two. Oh, and there you go. And K7 says he's got 3 on it. Yeah, Roscoe, using it on an old laptop as a virtual machine is a good idea, you know, or hopefully you're all right there. Hopefully it doesn't mess you up too bad. How does the Sonoff Mini R2 compared with the Shelly 1? Oh, did I do that? I did that comparison, I think, way back when, right? I don't know if it was the R2 Mini, though. It was the original Mini. It was the Sonoff original Mini and the Shelly 1. So somebody was telling me, I think it was one of my neighbor friends' kids was talking to me about Sonoffs the other day, and he said he had a bunch of Sonoffs that weren't doing DIY mode like he expected. And I know DIY mode was a little tricky there for a while, but it was a way to get in and flash with Tasmota, but he said he couldn't do that anymore. And I haven't looked into it too much, but I would say, from what I recall from my comparison of the Sonoff Mini and the Shelly 1, the Shelly 1 was ahead in every category except maybe the price. The Shelly 1, remember anytime you're dealing with your Shellys, all of your switch legs, like if you're going to go out to a button or something, those are going to be at your input voltage. So if you're switching a 120 volt circuit, then that's what's going out to those little wires. So be mindful of that. That was not the case with the Sonoff Mini. So I think that was something I liked about the Sonoff Mini as well. But you're going to pay more for the Shelly. I would say go with the Shelly. I think you'd be happier with the Shelly. I think a Sonoff, they're cheap. And so you can certainly say, well, it's good enough. And it is good enough. But I think it's not really good. I think really good is Shelly. So if you want really good, get Shelly. If you want good enough, you can do Sonoff. Is that helpful? I missed a ton of questions here. Tons of questions. Sorry, everybody. Love my Shellys. Love them Shellys. Shelly over Sonoff any day. Yep. See, look at that. I got the right answer. What are some future plans for Roam Assistant? You mean this guy? Oh, let's talk about Roam Assistant. Okay. Let's talk about Roam Assistant. Roam Assistant is what we started calling the RV Home Assistant, right? And I've started a few things. I know for sure things that really matter to me are the battery state. So we had trouble last time we were up here, or 2 times ago maybe, that the battery in this thing had died. And not only had it died, but it wouldn't charge. So we had like no lights. I mean, we had lights, but only if we had the generator running. And then you don't want to run the generator all night long, you know, it uses quite a bit of gas. And the way that like the heat works, the heat is propane, but the fan doesn't work. The thermostat doesn't turn on the fan and fire off the propane heater if there's no power. So when there was no power, we froze. So I did end up getting that solar panel that Banggood gave me and connecting it to an inverter, a battery, not inverter, it's a control charger. A control charger that I actually think I put in my Amazon. I think I put it in my Amazon favorite things. I can't remember for sure. If anybody's curious, but anyways, so I want to, I'm not going to go to that right now, but I want to monitor the battery state a lot. And they gave me a pretty good app. The control charger has a pretty good app. I don't know what kind of API it has. I don't know yet. I haven't looked to see if it's connectable to Home Assistant, but I would like to. Either way, you know, a simple voltage read, a simple like voltage sensor would do what I want to do. I just want to know what the charge of the battery is, what the level of the battery is all the time. Pretty much, you know, they have a panel back here in the RV, and on this panel you can see things like the battery charge. You can see things like the tanks. That's another really important one. How full are the tanks? I think some of my sensors are off. They don't work because it says the tanks are all full when they're not always full. So I would like to know that information. That means how much propane is in there. What's the freshwater tank, the gray water tank, the black water tank? Well, how much is in those things? I want to know those things. I also want a better thermostat. This thermostat in here that's hooked up to our heater, it has like no, what's that called? Hysteresis. I like that word. It's got no hysteresis. So like if you set it to 70 degrees, as soon as it gets to 70 degrees, it turns on. And then as soon as it gets below 70 degrees, it turns on. And then when it gets above 70 degrees, it turns off. And so it goes on and off, on and off, on and off constantly. Where like in your house, I don't know about the heater, but certainly the air conditioner doesn't do that. You know, it's got like a minimum run time where once it turns on, it's going to turn on for half an hour at least. And it's a window of time. So it'll turn on when it gets to 70 maybe, but it won't turn off until it gets to 72. And then it won't turn on again until it gets back down to 70, you know? So you got a wide gap in there so that it's not turning on, turning off, turning on, turning off, turning on, turning off. So that's something I need to work out in here for Roam Assistant. What are some of the other things I want to do? Some of the stuff that I can, temperature. I would like to have a system that will keep the pipes from freezing. So we spend a lot of time in here on nights when it's freezing outside. And you can hope that if you run your heater inside, you won't freeze any pipes or anything. But when this was parked out at the house, as I told some of you guys before, a couple weeks ago, I didn't do a good job of winterizing it. And I ended up having to replace the pressure sensor valve on the pump, the water pump, that broke. Wasn't much. It was like a $20 part, you know, no big deal. The flush valve on the toilet broke. It was leaking water everywhere. So that was another $20 or something. Not too bad, but still a problem, right? And then the sprayer on the faucet for the hose or for the sink popped off. And I think that might have been a freezing problem as well. So what I would like to have is temperature sensors in here, like at those specific spots that would turn on some sort of a heating coil. And it could be something as simple as a light bulb. And I saw somebody else do this on a blog post somewhere. They just took like 100-watt incandescent light bulb, which are getting hard to find, you know, but basically it's just a big heating element. And they put it next to their water pump. And then when it got below freezing, it turned on that light. And that light just warms up that space where the water pump is, so the water pump doesn't freeze. So I would like to do something like that. A little bit of winter heating that is kind of smart. So when it gets to a certain temperature, things will happen in the RV that won't let it freeze and break. Right? Yep. Zigbee Wi-Fi. Sounds like a reason to create your own thermostat controller. I did a similar project for my oven that calculated the amount of hysteresis required to keep the oven temp somewhat clear to the set temp. Yeah, Sid. So in Home Assistant, the climate component has that ability, and because that's how my thermostats work at home. That's one of the things that I did with Home Assistant a long time ago that's been really nice, is you basically set up a climate component that is an air conditioner or a heater, and you can do, you know, the different modes, and you can set it so that it turns on at this mode, turns off at that mode. You can set the minimum time it has to run. So once it turns on, it has to run for 20 or 30 minutes before it turns off. So you can do all that stuff with a climate component here. And the thermostat here is nothing but a relay. So all I need is 2 relays that respond to what I tell them to respond to based on these temperature sensors. That's one part of it. That's like the actual, okay, it's comfortable inside the cab here, right? Or inside the house, it's comfortable. The other part is, let's just keep the pipes from freezing, you know? That actual pipe heating tape, I've seen some of that. What do you think? Got to be more efficient than a light bulb? Yeah, probably true. Probably more efficient than the light bulb. You're right. Has anybody used that? I've been told 100-watt light bulbs are sold in Germany as heating orbs. Home thermostat will do that. But why go easy when you can go rely on Home Assistant to stay running and keep the heat on? That's right, sir. Good enough. That is right. I do it the easy way when you could do it the hard way, the less reliable, more expensive way. Huh? I don't know why the thermostat in here doesn't do that, because most thermostats do that. This one just doesn't. And it's an RV thermostat, I guess, but why would it not? Why does it just keep turning on and then it turns off for like a couple of minutes and it turns back on again? Good does that do? In-floor heating elements and sandwiched between some insulation, then you could control that. Yeah. Heat tape around the tops of my rainwater downpipes. Freeze sensor attached so they turn off automatically. And tell me if I need any light bulbs. Thank you, Joven. Heating tape with low volts as well. I know I saw some heating tape. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet to buy it, but I probably should before next winter when it's all of a sudden a crisis again. Speaking of, like even this thing. Oh, they're going to come by tonight. This is our. Do you mind if we swing by the site tonight around 6:30? Love to shoot some sunset footage and the camera night together. No, oh, for sure. Cool. So there's the people from the awesome people from the TV show are coming tonight up here. They want to film the sunset and they want to film the stars. We had so much fun last weekend. Are you any of you guys stargazers? Man, we had so much fun last time we were up here last weekend. We just, we were going to bed. You go to bed early, because you don't have a lot of stuff you can do in the dark and the lights and stuff running. You get tired. So 10 o'clock and we're checking in. And we went outside and it was me and Zoe and Holly and Zach. And we looked up at the stars and it was amazing. I've never seen so many stars. And then we got out one of those apps that shows you the constellations, and we were picking out constellations and we had so much fun. We probably spent an hour out there, and then we did it again the next night. And we were memorizing the constellations, that's Orion, I can tell you Orion, Cassiopeia, there was a couple others, Taurus. It was fun. We had a good time. So we'll do that again tonight. The Starlink string? You mean that, when the Starlink, when the thing, no, I didn't see that. What's the light pollution like? It's pretty low. It's pretty low, Martin. There is some light down here from houses, like farms, houses and stuff, because we're so high that you can see those lights down there, but they did not seem to bother the stars really at all. Everything that was up above us here, and certainly anything that's to the north of us, there's no light. There's nothing. And I'm looking right now outside, and there's not a cloud anywhere. So it's going to be pretty cool. Be a pretty good sunset. Get a satellite app and see ISIS and the Starlinks fly by. Oh, that'd be cool. Okay. They do show some satellites on the Star app that we had, but I'll look specifically for one that has the satellites. You can watch the satellites fly by. That'd be awesome. What do I think about suggestions I sent yesterday? Oh boy. Another random nickname. I don't know what suggestions you sent me, buddy. I'm not sure who you are. I feel okay saying that because you have another random nickname as your name. I don't feel guilty about that at all. Usually I feel guilty if I don't remember somebody's name, but not when you've chosen that particular name. So it could do something like this, right? 108 feet of heat tape, heat resistant tape. Now that's not going to freeze it. What you need is something like this that actively warms it, but it needs to be like DC. It's not something you just plug in and get this big, huge load. Oh, that was you, Alka. That was you. Yes, we were talking about network stuff. You were talking about network stuff, right? Oh, yes, the ports. Yeah, I won't be able to open up ports. Yeah, that's too bad. I'll probably just set up the new place as a VPN. But if I set up the new place, oh, you set it up as a VPN that connects to my main house's server. Could do that. I would use Home Assistant Cloud probably. I'll just use Home Assistant Cloud because I won't be able to open up a port for my own VPN, like to have this as a VPN, right? But I could have this connect to my home, right, and make this a client for home. I should be able to do that just fine. In which case, I guess I could connect to everything else up here. So I'll probably have some things I want to connect to that are not Home Assistant. Like I'll have some Reolink cameras and some of that stuff. But again, Reolink cameras, I don't need VPN. I can use their app and stuff. But yeah, that's good to know. I didn't know that Starlink limits you, won't let you open those. Love you, baby.
Love you.
What you doing?
I'm just
hanging.
We just did primary. Really, so.
Oh, and Sir Goodenough says, review our regulations for proper question etiquette. That's right. Is this fair support mode? Yes. What are some future plans for the Roam Assistant? Okay, we did talk about that. What are some other things I should do for the Roam Assistant? I do want to do some things like it's got some sensors, like for the legs, when the legs go up, the leveling things. I would like to fix some of that, make that a little bit better, because those things are not quite working right. It always says the legs are down, even when they're clearly not down. Look in the RV section for heating tape. Yeah, come sit by Daddy. Stuff like this. Stuff like this. This is probably what I'm talking about. Freeze-free heating cable. I don't know. I mean, how much does that really gonna super sticky? That might work in a few places. White roof seal, UV tape, waterproof. Oh no, this is different. I do probably need some of this though. I think we have a leak in the roof. We'll have to watch for it the next time. But I do think we might have a leak in the roof. These are all AC. I want a DC solution, I guess, because we don't have. If there's only one place in the RV that runs off of AC or that puts out AC, if you don't have the generator running, you still have to have the inverter running to run that plug. So I don't have another plug. I just would need it to be a 12-volt source. And then I could do it. Or just insulation. Part of me just thinks maybe insulation is the way to go. 12-volt heat tape. Yeah, let's just try that. So what is this stuff? Let's look at this. This looks like you have to add your own power to it. Self-regulating pipe heating system. Reduces power consumption. The pipe doesn't require freeze protection. Well, what is it then? Flexible, blah, blah, blah. Cut the length, technology. I don't get this. Does this really? Do you really? Huh. Just add the resistor. Should it matter if it's AC or DC? Well, it just matters. It just matters that I don't have a plug. I just don't have a 120 volt plug to plug it into. I guess maybe it wouldn't matter. Could use the car seat heater DIY element mats that wrap around maybe. Yeah, that's a great idea too, Roscoe. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Because there's only a few places, right? Like I know what spots now freeze. I know what freezes and breaks first. And it is the water tank out there and the oh, look at this. This is what these are. Well, there you go. This is good. 2-pack, 12-inch by 18-inch RV holding tank heater pads, 12-volt DC, used with up to 50-gallon freshwater, gray water, black water tanks. Holding tank heating pad with automatic thermostat control. Bingo. Bingo. Yes. Trace heating for water pipes that could be run through cold environments that require heating to stop freezing. The warming store, 12-volt heat harness, fuse pack. I want to see if I can, I don't know how to do this and not show. I don't know how to copy that. What does that do? Oh, that hid your message. I didn't do it. I can imagine Roam Assistant having a console showing you all the different heating elements, clicking on and off to keep things from freezing. That's what I see too, Richard. That's what I see. I see getting a notification on my phone that says, "Oh, Roam Assistant turned on the black water tank, heater," because we left it up here. We left the RV up here this past few days, and we'll probably do that again. Maybe not every time, but we'll do it. We'll do it from time to time. So, would love to have that kind of information. Just hook up power to it and put in the cap in the end, and yes, it does matter on voltage. I like this DIY car seat heater element thing, or even just like a couple of these. This is good for the tank. This is good for the tank. Then the other part I would want to do would be I need to put one where the toilet flush valve, although the toilet flush valve, that was kind of our fault, because that is something that you can pretty easily do. If you just turn off the water pump and flush the toilet a couple times, that valve is empty after that. And so there's no water in there. It's not going to freeze again. So that one, I think we can avoid that one easy enough. That was just our fault, not knowing that we could do that. The water pump valve is more of a problem. And so that's down there by the tank. So maybe I could arrange, I could put that somehow so that it would be, it would stay warm with the tank heater, probably. I don't know. Does dashboard make the work worthwhile? Cool dashboards make the work worthwhile. Oh, here we go. What's this? Farmers did something similar to camper. It can control the lights, water pump, water heater, battery monitor. It's pretty basic. Oh, yeah. Answer questions, share. You're like, awesome. Yes, please. Propane sensors work great. We're trying to integrate into homes. Oh, D-Dub. D-Dub. Yes, join us. We have a channel. We have a channel for RV, don't we? Or no, we don't have an RV channel. We don't need an RV channel. We can talk about it though let's talk about it in the Whobbit hole, in the Whobbit hole one. Ooh, let's see what you got here. C sharp worm. Yeah, that stuff. So I wonder about, this is nice. Like I get the idea here. My trouble with this one is just that it's this. I don't have this available, right? I don't have 110 volt. This would be great if I was parked like at an RV stop, or I was at my house. But up here I need something. Even if it's just when we're sleeping at night, sometimes up here it's cold enough. But Hobbit. Yeah. There it is, the Hobbit hole. That's awesome. Thank you. Alihan, how you doing, man? Do I think a viable option for room occupancy is to use a camera and use dudes or something similar to detect people? Yeah, Alihan, I definitely think that's viable. Absolutely. Dudes, I'm sure, is pretty good at finding people. I didn't try that because I was looking for dirty dishes, but I would bet that it's pretty good at finding people. That's got to be one of the easy things for it to do. So yeah, you could totally do that. And it worked well. I mean, it really did work. And there was the two ways you could do it, right? There was dudes, or then there was the other one. Was it TensorFlow? But it was running. You had to have an Ubuntu server instance running to process that, and something. I don't remember. There was another way to do it. Oh my gosh! And now I'm seeing our dude's face, and I can't think of his name. Who was helping me so much with that? Oh, I'm a bad person. Everything smart home. What's his name? Oh gosh, come on. What's his name? What's the everything smart home name guy's name? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kick myself as soon as I think of it. Deep Stack. That's it. It was Deep Stack. Yeah, you're right. Cannot suck the water back to the tank. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. But I think the pump still sits below that. So you can get everything out of the faucets. I'm not worried about the faucets in the house or the pipes in the house getting too cold, because we can pretty easily drain the water out of the pipes inside that go to the sink and stuff. Like that. That's the same thing with the toilet valve. You can pretty easily drain the water out of that. But the pump, just where the pump sits, it seems to me that that pump is always going to have water in it as long as there's water in the tank. I guess I could put a valve in there. I could put a valve in there and turn it off sometimes, but anyways. No, it's not Piansky. He's a different one, Yusuf. He's a different guy. It's not Piansky. He might have done something too. Lewis. It was Lewis. That's right. Thank you, Mark. Mark's the winner. Oh, you cannot suck the water back into the tank. No. Yeah, I didn't think you could. This I like. I definitely like this. It would be worth it. This would be worth it. But I want to see D-Dub. D-Dub, where's, woo, I won, Mark says. Woohoo. D-Dub, you're obviously watching. Do you have a different name here in the chat? Because I'd love to pick your brain sometimes about it. Family, Levenfald, hello from Denmark. Hello. Hello. I don't have anything fun to play on the screen. I could play another 30-second video. Oh, what you got here? I wish it would just let me. It makes me hide those things. I can't copy stuff out of the chat. Shoot it to me in Discord. D-Dub, oh, same name. Okay, cool. Richard, shoot me that in Discord, would you, buddy? And then I can open up that link. Finally made it, Martin. Finally. What are we up to? We are in the RV at Aidendale, as you can see out the window. There it is. Just chilling, hanging out. Probably going to stream. I'm looking at my battery level on both on my phone and my laptop. So we're about over for the night. But it's been fun. We've talked. What have we talked about, guys? Talked about a lot of things. Nothing terribly earth-shattering, but I think we made some progress. I think we helped some people. This is exactly what I need right here. Self-regulated heating cable. How is it self-regulated? Does it just only get hot to a certain temperature or something? Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. This'll do. Thank you, Richard. Warm floor heat trace store. Here's some of them that have temperature in them, but I can do the temperature part. Gosh, this should be a pre-installed thing, don't you think? Have a good one. Catch you in the next one. See you, Mark. Everything in the chat shows up in the lives. Oh, that's true. You're right, Sir Good Enough. Thank you for the reminder. We talked about all kinds of things, didn't we? What are my thoughts on Home Assistant analytics? I thought it was pretty cool. Should we check on them? Should we check on the Home Assistant analytics and see how they're doing? So for those of you who don't know, what Alian was just asking about is this. This is user data basically from Home Assistant is collecting now. That that gives you information about what people are using. Then there's also other stuff like, is it integrations? They changed this. This used to be on the first page, I thought. So this tells you what integrations everybody's using. So kind of interesting. This would be a good, I used to go through the Home Assistant forums all the time, just looking for cool projects. Just go through and see, okay, what are people doing? Because they do something cool and they post it in there. So I go through there and look and see, what am I missing? What am I not doing that other people are doing that they're having fun with? Here you go. You can go in here and you can see what people are using maybe that you aren't using. And just give you an idea, or maybe you're using something that nobody else is using. You can go, hey, wow, this thing is pretty cool. I need to tell people about it. So yeah, I think it's cool. I'm happy that they collect the data. I trust them with collecting as much data as they want from me because I know they're going to keep it as private as it can be. You are hiding most of my screen. Am I really? Sorry. Oh my gosh, I am. Sheesh. That's what I should have been doing a long time ago. Sorry. I don't need my big old face in there. No. Yeah, that'll do. I guess this doesn't really let me edit these very much, does it? Whoa. Okay, here we go again. We're going to end up. Oh, can I move it? Not really. Who was it that let me play around with the graphics again, huh? Whose fault is it that I'm playing around with the graphics again? Oh, here's the star. Oh, that's pretty. Little triangulos. Don't make me hit the 30-second timeout button again. The bathroom video. Okay, sorry, this is what we've been looking at. This and then this one. Nope, this one. Yes. I'm actually going to add this to my favorites. You can see my... Oh, it's going to ask me to do all this crap. Yeah, well, anyways, I'll keep it up for now. I can hear my laptop humming. I can see the battery levels getting low. So we should probably wrap up. Let's do a couple more questions. I'll look and see if in Discord if there's any more questions. We'll do a couple more minutes and then we'll probably get a sign off for today. This worked out pretty well. There's going to be a lot of these kinds of streams. I'll try and keep the timing right as far as what time of day so that everybody knows. And Sir Good Enough, thank you, sir, so much for being so good about keeping me updated, like saying, I would hardly ever fix the timing on the streams if it wasn't for Sir Good Enough. So thank him. When you know what time the stream's going to be, you can thank Sir Good Enough because he makes it possible. He keeps me on task, and I appreciate it very much, sir. Okay, that's all we got. I just got my notice here that my low battery and my Mac is going to go to sleep in a minute. What is involved in using a laptop for HAS OS? I don't know if there's something that can run it natively on the hardware. It depends on the laptop, possibly, but you can definitely do Proxmox and then run it as a virtual machine. So, hey, baby, you want to sign off? Is Mommy and Zoe, Mommy and Gracie sleeping?
I think they're trying to.
Heat pumps can also heat water for showers and such. Oh, I have that's coming too.
Sign off, Grace.
You want to come up for sign off?
Can they see us like right here?
I'm the annoying noise in the back of your head. He's the voice that's telling me to do good things. He's the shoulder angel. All right, girlies, how are you doing?
Tired.
Should we sign off like the poop tank is full?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna sign up like the poop tank is full because it is, and we have to go dump it now, right? Okay, we're gonna go dump the poop tank now. Okay.
With Mom sleeping.
You just tooted. No, we'll wait till Mom wakes up. Okay, here we go. Ready?
As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios. That kind of hurt my nose.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you. We'll see you next week. Bye. How do I turn it off? Oh, let's play a video on the way out. This will be fun.
Oh no.
Let's do a minute-long video.